I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. What's up, friends? Come on in. Come on in. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please let me know by putting your city, your state, your country, your island, wherever you are from, your continent, into the chat so I can say what's up, what's up, what's up, because we got a lot to talk about, child. I have been watching these social media streets for a little bit this morning, so I got some tea for y'all. Y'all see the thumbnail. We are talking about Christian Keys and Tyler Perry, child. Some threats have been made. Some popping the collar has been made. Someone is trying to let people know that their dick is better than the other person. Okay. There's been threats made against the cast, child. I'm gonna tell you guys all about that. Come on through. What's up, Bama girl? I see you. Thank you. What is up, Lady D Keys? Lady D Keys is a moderator volunteering her time on the channel. Please say hello to her, following any instructions she may give you, child. Y'all can say what you want. I really don't care as long as you keep it respectful with each other and with me, because I don't say nasty things to y'all, so don't say nasty things to me. Okay. What's up, Mural? How are you? Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. We're also talking about P. Diddy. I got some P. Diddy news. I got some Fat Joe news. I got some Carlos King news. We got it all. Okay. So come on through. I even got some news on some young Black men who is about to change the game. Okay. Multi-million-dollar change the game, probably billion-dollar change the game. We are looking at billionaires in the making right now. So come on through. Hit the like button, share the video, please, and thank you. Become a subscriber if you are not already. I appreciate y'all. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Okay, I hope you are feeling good. Ciao, 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 ciao. Okay. Listen, I do want to clear something up too, because yesterday I gave y'all some tea. Hold on, let me put this picture up here. Let me put up a new picture. 1 second. Yesterday we were talking about Phaedra and Angela, our good girl Angela over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me get their picture up real quick because this is important. Anyway, when I was telling you guys that Angela had called out a guy by the name of Marcus Merritt and said, listen, he talked to me. He told me where it came from, basically saying that Phaedra had a relationship with him or his brother. I think it was his brother, that Phaedra went to school with his brother, that they are all from Athens. We know that Phaedra's from Athens. She had given a little history. And she also said that Phaedra paid this young man to go after her on the show and make it seem like Charles was cheating on her. A lot of you had said, listen, there is a blogger who actually, a YouTuber who actually talked about this, and the payment may have came from someone else. And I told you guys, I told someone to just DM me, which you did. I appreciate you. I did have an opportunity to go over and look at it. So I just want to say that. I ended up going over to the YouTuber's page, and there was a post and delete that Marcus made. He said, Bravo paid me. And then he said something about watch the finale. Bravo paid me. And then he deleted it. Well, I still do believe Phaedra. I actually believe, I believe Angela, but I do think that Bravo paid him as well. I think that when he came on that first time, he came on to, you know, be a part of the mix. He may have done it for free, but I do think that Bravo probably reached out to him and said, hey, we would love for you to film. We would love for you to film and hold on 1 second, and come back and address what you said to Angela and maybe even have Charles get in the mix. And he might have got a little appearance fee for that, right? So I think that he was like, Bravo paid me like a ha ha. And then he deleted it because he knew that probably would get his ass caught up. But I still think that the actual person, I think that Angela's intel was right. Okay. So just so y'all know, he did post it and delete it, but I think he was trying to throw people off the trail, and he just wasn't successful. What's up, Sherry? Welcome to the chat. Come on in, everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. We got a lot to talk about. I just gave y'all a follow-up to yesterday's tea when I told y'all that Angela Oakley called Phaedra out by name. She said that she paid a man by the name of Marcus Merritt to come onto set when they were filming a scene and try to embarrass her and Charles at the same time, because Charles was in the room, and say that he had tea on him, that he saw him cheating with another woman, that he saw it with his own eyes. And when they went to approach him about it, he spilled the beans, child. He gave Phaedra up, okay? He gave Phaedra up. He said, I am not going down for this. All right. But yeah, so come through. Everybody hit the like button, share the video, and talk in the chat, for Pete's sake. Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. Okay, so listen, let's get it started. I told y'all I got some good tea for y'all. We'll start it off with some good tea, and then we're going to get into all of these damn stories. So let's start with the good tea, because y'all know people love to talk about Black excellence, but they act like they can't look nothing up. But check this out. 2 young Black men who are students at Yale actually secured a $3.1 million startup fund for their AI startup series, which competes with LinkedIn. And I would even go further than that. I would say that it kind of competes with Facebook. They said that it's actually steps ahead of Facebook. So y'all remember that Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, or if you watch the movie, it was implied that Mark Zuckerberg stole Facebook from another student when he was over there at Harvard. Now we have these young men who have started up an AI series. It's supposed to be kind of like a social app as well. It's already on 500 campuses, 500 universities already. And they've already successfully sent through over 32,000 messages. And they are picking up so much traction on this that they've already secured $3.1 million in 14 days when they put it out there that this was their new app. They said that this is probably one of the most innovative things to come off of a college campus right now. So we shall see what happens next. But the young men their names are Nathaniel Johnson and Sean Hargrove. They are both juniors at Yale University, and they co-founded, so they're partners, a series in an AI-powered social networking platform that facilitates purposeful introduction. So they said that the AI is used to make sure that they have meaningful connections between the users, as opposed to more vain connections, like people see things and just like, oh, I like, the type of car this one drives or whatever. So they're trying to do a more purposeful meetup. And yeah, already it has the attention of a lot of people who are throwing money at it. $3.1 million to be exact, okay? $3.1 million to be exact. And I can't wait to see what they do next. I thought this was real cool, real cool. So y'all talk to me in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. And we are going to move on to the next story, okay? What do y'all think about that? Are y'all taking my poll at the beginning, at the top of the chat? I had asked if y'all thought Diddy would walk free. Make sure you take the poll, because we got a story to talk about with him too. Do you think Diddy's going to walk free? The choices are yes, can't stop, won't stop. No, Diddy can shake a bone and get the hell on. Or maybe you've been reading the Bible, the whole Bible, and you're not really sure what's going on in the world right now. So you came over here to find out. So go ahead and make a selection so we can talk about it ahead of the story for for P. Diddy. Okay. All right, let's move on. Proud of those young men. Yes, I think that that is amazing. Their parents should be proud. Juniors at Yale University. Okay. Go on with your bad selves. All right. Now let's move on. Let's talk about Carlos King news, child. A lot of people have been saying absolutely not. Love and Marriage Huntsville has been ran off. Nobody's watching that shit. F it. And guess what? They are doing the promo for it right now. Carlos King dropped this promo. He said, "Who we be?" And it's playing to the actual song, "Who We Be." And you see the Scotts and Destiny. He's giving everybody a hug. He said that they are returning on July 19th. So it has been given a date, and this is the beginning of the promo, y'all. So these are all the people that are there. I didn't see him hug Martell. Oh, there's Martell. I was about to say, I didn't see him hug Martell. Saturday, July 19th is when it is alleged to return. Okay. Well, I shouldn't even say alleged, child. This is a stamp. They are back. They are back, and they are currently filming the second half of the season right now. But for people who needed a little more, an announcement from somebody, there you have it. It had the little flash at the end. OWN approved, returning on the 19th of July. Are y'all asleep? Wake up. Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. Listen, y'all should be happy that everybody has moved on with the move-ons. You gotta make sure that people are able to move on and continue, child. The sun keeps spinning, all the things keep spinning. So if you ain't laying down dead, you gotta keep moving, child. Okay, let's move on to the next story. Who are we gonna talk about? I caught y'all during a sleepy period, clearly. Let's talk about Fat Joe real quick, child. This guy, Fat Joe, and his name is Terrell Dixon, they might be playing footsie a little bit, because this is an interesting story that came out today. But the incident happened back in May, and right now it looks like these two are playing tit for tat with each other. One person will do something, and then someone will do something even bigger than that. But yeah, check this out. This is what is the latest story that has dropped on Fat Joe and Terrence Dixon. Let me get their picture up here. So I talked to y'all the other day. I told y'all that Terrence has he has employed, hold on. Let me get the picture up. Terrence has employed Tyrone Blackburn. You see the red arrow? This is Tyrone Blackburn right here. He's employed Tyrone Blackburn as his lawyer. Tyrone has a horrible reputation, so horrible that a few months ago, a judge actually said that he was going to report his license if he continued with certain behavior in the court. So things that he was submitting to the court, I guess, was so egregious that the judge said, "You know better than this, okay? You know better than this, and I will definitely, report your license if you continue." But the latest story is that he was arrested earlier today for mowing down, is how it is described here, mowing down a process server. And I wanted to give y'all the details on this, because I was like, clearly Fat Joe and this Terrence Dixon guy, they're doing this tit for tat thing, and you can tell that it's also going to play with the court's time a little bit. So we're going to have to listen to these stories with a grain of salt. But Tyrone Blackburn initially had filed charges, or I won't even say filed charges. Terrence Blackburn has slipped a note to Fat Joe and asked him up front for $3 million. He said, "Listen, we want $3 million for music that Terrence wrote, and you haven't been, paying him and some things like that. So we'll take $3 million. Otherwise, we're going to take you to court." Fat Joe laughed at the shit, didn't think anything of it, kept it punching. Then Tyrone slipped him another letter and said, well, if you don't, answer our demands, we're going to put it out there that you have been sleeping with underage people, kids, you know what I'm saying? He put some stank on it. And that's when Fat Joe said, you're not going to blackmail me, okay? You're not going to extort me. I'm going to run on down to the courthouse. And Fat Joe actually filed charges against them, both Tyrone and Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon for extortion. And that's when they retaliated, I believe, on June 19th, just recently. When they retaliated, that's when they put all of that stuff out there about him, about Terrence actually being essayed over 4,000 times, and then listing the names of some underage girls and things like that. So here's what y'all need to know about this mowdown. Back in May, let me get the correct date. Back in May, when Terrence was being served by Fat Joe's attorney, basically Fat Joe saying, you're not going to extort me, so I'm serving y'all to let you know that I'm going to take both of you to court. It was on May 12th. After he had gotten served, Blackburn got into his vehicle as a 66-year-old messenger was serving him. He reversed his car and then slammed into the 66-year-old process server. Now, they said that back on May 12th, that the process server had suffered a minor injury, nothing huge, but a minor injury. And it was reported to the police. Okay, that was on May 12th. Blackburn didn't get arrested until today. Okay, what's up, Coco? Welcome. Blackburn didn't get arrested until today. So I'm like, well, why would they wait so long to arrest this man for this incident? Unless maybe, the process server was like, I'm good, like it wasn't a big deal. And then after all that shit went down last week with the new charges, with the new filing, I should say, the new filing, Fat Joe and his attorney said, listen, we just going to throw the book at these people. We're just going to try to, hem them up for whatever. That's why I was like, this is definitely a tit for tat thing. One person will do one thing, someone else will do another. But yeah, it's interesting. He should have been arrested that day. He is an officer of the court. Nobody waits 3 weeks to arrest a lawyer who mowed down someone for serving him. That's a part of his job. So I just thought that was wild. And I wanted to let y'all know, we got to keep an eye on this. Clearly, Blackburn does not have a good reputation at all. And it sounds like he's just, he's a hot mess. Maybe, I don't know, hell, we'll see what happens next. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. That is the news story that came out today. Moving along, let's get to the next story. We're going to talk about, Diddy, child. P. Diddy, I told y'all to take that poll. Let me see what y'all had to say. 67 of y'all voted. Do you think that Diddy will walk free? 63% of y'all said no. Diddy's going to jail. Shake a bone and get the hell on, Diddy. Okay, that's what y'all are saying. 24% of y'all, however, said that you believe Diddy is going to walk free. And 13% of you are saying that you're reading the Bible, child. You ain't got time for no Diddy nonsense. You don't have time for the Diddy nonsense, okay? But check out what has happened. This is the latest in these Diddy charges, okay? So the prosecutors have rested their case. Y'all know they had a lot of testimony. Some people thought it was very powerful testimony from different people, victims of P. Diddy. But y'all, after they rested their case, they actually dropped some things from the charges. So the prosecutors, federal prosecutors, are now dropping the attempted kidnapping charge that was related to Capricorn Clark. I guess they don't think that maybe her testimony was strong enough. They are also dropping the attempted arson charge that had to do with Kid Cudi's car and the Molotov cocktail. They are dropping that. And y'all know Kid Cudi said at trial, he can't say for sure if it was Diddy or not. And by the end of it, he made it seem like him and Diddy were cool. Like they would see each other out, and Diddy came up to him and said, listen, we were both being played by Cassie. And he firmly believed it. So he was like, in court on the stand, not necessarily being helpful to the prosecutors. Come on through. What's up? I see you, Terry, Queen T. What's up, Erica? Nice to have y'all. And they are also dropping the aiding and abetting in the trafficking charge, okay? These were all removed from the government case. They said that they are giving the jury instructions to withdraw. Now, I love when people say the jury is not allowed to take these things in consideration, but you can't unring a bell. They've already heard it. But they're saying that this is no longer a part of consideration when it comes to the charges, okay? But what is still standing is the racketeering conspiracy. And y'all remember, they're basically saying that he used his business, he used his power as, as a business mogul to get what he wanted, okay? To force people that were employed for him to do certain acts, criminal acts, by setting certain parties up for him, bringing in, the narcotics and stuff like that. So they're saying he used his power and privilege to have people do things against their will. Used his job to do it, used his business to do it. What we see, happening in the government right now, and ain't nobody brought charges on them, but same thing. Okay. What else is staying? Trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion is still standing. And I should also say that the racketeering charge still holds a life sentence. Okay. So it still holds a life sentence. The trafficking charge, forced, fraud, and coercion, that's still standing. And transportation to engage in prostitution is still pending. So I told y'all that. So the trafficking that was forced, fraud, or coercion, that's 2 counts, mandatory minimum of 15 years. And then transportation to engage in the act has a maximum count. That's also 2 counts and a maximum term of 10 years per count. So he can get up to 20 years for that. So just an FYI. Is he going to walk, or is he going to go to jail for this? We shall see. There's a lot of people. I think it's kind of divided down the middle. Not on my poll, though. You guys are pretty clear that y'all think he is going to jail, but there's a lot of people who said that they don't see it. They don't see racketeering here as a charge. Ciao. What shall happen? Good morning or good afternoon. It is afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome, Gloria. Nice to have you. But yeah, that's what's up with P. Diddy right now. The case has been, they've rested their case. So they're going into deliberations. I guess they're gonna get up and do their closing arguments and then go into jury deliberations. And we shall see if he comes home or not. A lot of people didn't expect him to even stand trial. People were predicting that he would probably take himself out of here before that happened. But he has been standing trial. A lot of people said that he looks like he's pretty strong, that he's not, doing a whole lot. Shout out to Mims, Make It Make Sense. I saw that he got picked up by Essence magazine. There was some quotes from him in Essence, and also I forgot what news program picked him up as well, but he is doing big things over there. Good for him, because he's been reporting on that case from the beginning. So he is being recognized on major platforms, and I thought that was pretty cool. So shout out to Mims. Let's see. Come on in. But yeah, the racketeering charge is what still holds a lifetime sentence in prison, and they're saying that he used his business to engage in a criminal enterprise. He turned his business into a criminal enterprise that was doing all kinds of illegal acts. He employed people under that business, paid them with business dollars in order to get them to do criminal acts for him. And they all hid their wrongdoing under these really, highbrow titles. So is a jury going to find him guilty for that? And will he go to prison forever for the rest of his days, child? We shall see. But anyway, let's move on to the last story, which is these two right here, Tyler Perry and Christian Keys. How it all started, okay? How it started versus how it's going. So a lot of y'all may remember back in, I believe it was 2023, Christian Keys got on his IG Live. I believe it was during Christmas, sometime either before or after Christmas. It was in December. And he made a huge allegation about a powerful billionaire, movie mogul, who had slid into the bed with him and touched his thigh. It was pretty much the same story that Derek had given about Tyler Perry in this upcoming lawsuit. The first time we heard a story similar to that, it was by way of Christian Keys. Christian Keys is actually the person who is responsible for All the Queen's Men. He said that he wrote the book, he wrote the screenplay, he shopped it to Tyler Perry. And you got the impression that him and Tyler Perry may have been beefing, okay? You got the impression that him and Tyler Perry may have been beefing because there was a whole season of All the Queen's Men where Christian Keys, who plays the concierge, wasn't on, okay? So I remember that season. I think it was season 3. I kept saying, where the hell is Christian Keys? This is crazy. But yeah, he wasn't a part of it. He wasn't a part of it. And I think in season 2, I remember his name being a part of the billing. He had like a credit. And then all of a sudden, his name disappeared. And I remember saying in my Facebook page, where in the hell is Christian Keys? And people were like, yes, Diana, that is still Christian Keys' book. We have no idea what happened. But I went, why is Christian Keys' name removed? And I could tell there was a little bit of a difference in the writing. Okay. But yeah, Christian Keys actually got on his live last night on his TikTok, actually. And he talked about that. And he talked also about the production company, baby. And I don't know if he is, I don't know, child. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. Let's listen to it together, and then I'll make a comment on it. But right now, he is talking big. He's basically making some big claims about the production company, and he's also making big claims about the actors on the show. He said that some of them may not have jobs in a couple of weeks or whenever he's about to do his big one, because he said that they are too arrogant. They come in high. They handle themselves poorly with people on the set. And he's saying he's taking his shit back. Okay, let's see. Tyler said that he has control of the writer's pen. He can write you out of a scene or write you back in, allegedly. Well, that's what Derek said, right? He said he said, ask about me. He said that Tyler said, you need to ask about me because when you F with me, I will write you off the show. Well, he wrote Christian off the show in season 3. And then he brought him back for like maybe 3. I felt like it was such small roles for the 4th season. He was barely in it. And you can tell that there's a difference from how it was originally presented from the way it is right now. But check out a little bit of what Christian Keys had to say. Okay. So he's basically, he's in a war, a little bit of a war with BET and production. And this is where this is coming from. He said, he starts off by saying that he found out the show was coming back on social media instead of being given the proper heads up by the production company or BET. So here's what he had to say. Check this out.
so I can try to pull up and enjoy it with y'all and share that moment with y'all. Shout out to the couple 100,000 of y'all that are renewing their BT Plus subscription just for our favorite show. I do the same thing. It's cool. Not judging you. I will say, in transparency, it is disappointing to continuously find out that your show is coming back on the internet instead of finding out from the network. And I've mentioned that in previous seasons, and it's still happening. Or to see the trailer online and have to go search for the trailer so I can try to download the trailer for the hit show that I created for this studio and this network, instead of getting it sent when everybody else is getting theirs. It does feel dismissive and disrespectful when it continues to happen and you've addressed it and it still happens. So at this point, I do not believe that the prequel series that I've written and the spinoff show, any prequel or sequels, I do not believe I'll be doing them with BET. I'm speaking with some amazing people that are interested, other streamers. So the All the Queens Men universe will continue to thrive. I'm just not sure where it's going to be. It's not up to the studio. It's not up to the network.
Okay, did you hear that? So he's saying to us that what he chooses to do with this show is not up to BET and it's not up to Tyler Perry. So whatever deal that has been made, he's saying that he got his shit back, because that was what the argument was. And I remember, if y'all follow me on Facebook, y'all remember me saying, where in the hell is Christian Key's his billing? His billing was removed. Okay, so that was the first part. Now listen to what else he had to say.
Up to me, thankfully. So I will let you guys know. Addressed it and it still happens. So at this point, I do not believe that the prequel series that I've written and the spinoff show, any prequel or sequels, I do not believe I'll be doing them with BET. I'm speaking with some amazing people that are interested, other streamers. So the All the Queens Men universe will continue to thrive. I'm just not sure where it's going to be. It's not up to the studio. It's not up to the network. It's up to me, thankfully. So I will let you guys know where it's going to end up. Whether you noticed or not, season 2, my Created by credit was removed. And I asked to get it back, and they said no. And I ended up having to call the WGA, call the union to force the studio to give me my credit back that I had earned. I created this 15 years ago, and I've been working on it for 15 years. I think God gave it to me because he knew I was going to protect it, and I will. But some things, these things got to change. So.
Okay, so he's letting us know again, it was the production company that took his credit away, and he had to go to whatever union to get it back. So I remember when it was taken off of that show. I remember, and he's letting us know that he does not have that great of a relationship. Let's see, it's just too much going on. Yeah, listen, it's not always pretty. Everybody, again, people fight for their rights to have, just like you fight for your rights to have. It's not different.
I'll figure out where it's going to be, but the universe will continue. All the Queens Men universe will carry on, and it'll continue to get even bigger and even better. The Vegas residency, I'm looking at next summer for the stage play, All the Queens Men Live. I'm hoping to drop it in Vegas at an amazing casino. I'm speaking with a couple casinos right now, hoping to drop it in there next summer and then go on tour, hopefully to a city near you or to your city. So, and the play is written, it's incredible. So I'm really excited about that. So there's a lot of good news, a lot of great things going on within the All the Queens Men world. In the prequel and sequel space, unfortunately, there are going to be a few personnel changes. Sometimes it happens, unfortunately, where some people get entitled or arrogant and unprofessional and, start coming to work high and inebriated on a regular basis, or start saying whatever they want to when the camera's rolling, and disrespectful ad libs and things. And those things will be addressed. So there may be some personnel changes, but the show will go on. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the future.
Okay. And he's also threatening the cast. He said some of them are coming in high, being disrespectful. Now, a lot of us love the cast, right? Who could that be? Who's coming in high and being disrespectful? They all seem cool. I'm not gonna lie. I always thought that a Tyler Perry production or anybody who was working on the set, I always saw them as coming in like clear-headed. I always saw them as people who were holding hands and praying right before they went on set. And he's saying that people are disrespectful, they're coming in high. Shit's just wrong. And he said that he has the control to decide who he brings with him in regards to a story and who, gets the boot. So he's not just threatening removing it from the BET platform or from whatever studio. He's threatening to fire the cast as well. What's up, Chronic? The Writers Guild Association, WGA, Writers Guild Association, is who he had forced the studio, assuming it's Tyler Perry's studio, to give him back his writing credit, put it back on the show, creative director credit. Okay. They took it off and he said, that's bullshit. This is mine. Okay. I've had this show. I've been writing this show for 15 years, shopping it for 15 years. And then overnight, he said it felt like it just went away. I'm glad they're calling these big executives out for their acts. Black people get it together. Yeah. So listen, this is hilarious. Y'all know that there's been a time when we weren't ever given our credit as the creator of things, right? If you read history books, you see stuff like that all the time, that the true creator, whatever it was in the world, the true creator was not getting the credit for it because, we weren't considered human. We were considered animals. And there was a slave owner or someone, whoever owned us for property, would take the credit for our inventions and ideas. But yeah, you got to pick up a book, child. Pick up a book and learn some things. But they are out here, and it's always been, and we just have to pay attention. But this is what's going on right now. We see Christian Keys feels a little more emboldened. He said what he had to say, made that threat, held that pen up in the air and said, yeah, you may have taken my cell phone away so that I couldn't record you, but I might have had an instrument like this, and pulled up that ink pen and said, this is really a recording device. And it may have picked up some things about this, that, and the other in order to get what he wanted. And now he's out here sharing a little more details. Just the fact that someone would try to steal your credit from something that you created is wrong. If someone can steal like that, I would leave a penny on the table. I wouldn't leave a penny on the table around them. Child, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I mean, it's something. It's something at the end of the day. So yeah, what are y'all thoughts around this? How do y'all feel? I mean, I'm still going to watch the show. I'm still going to support the show. I'm still going to watch it. He's fighting for his rights to have, what he deserves, but he still gets paid from the show. He still gets paid from it. And there's still actors who work on the show and crews that work on the show that expect their paychecks. So this is going to be really interesting how this plays out. This is the time. This is the time. But yeah, he said that at the end of the day, he's still fighting for his rights. Now, I remember, I think, was it last year sometime? Maybe it was back in 2023 as well. There was a man who was suing Christian, Tyler, and BET because he said that he wrote the original screenplay. I forgot what the title of his project was, but he's actually accused Tyler Perry and Christian of stealing it from him. And he was representing himself pro se to get it back. But I haven't heard anything else about it since that lawsuit was filed. And I think it might have been like the third time he had filed it. But yeah, I think it was the third time he had filed it. But yeah, I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to watch it. I'm excited for it. I told you guys that it was coming. I think I said it was had premiered last night. It doesn't premiere until July 24th on BET, but we'll see if more people start coming down the pipeline and accusing people of things, um, or making some more accusations against the current folk. Everybody isn't lying on Tyler. There is something in the soup that doesn't taste good. Ciao. I didn't say anybody was lying on anyone. I just want to share that thought. I'm curious. That's all I'm saying. I'm curious because sometimes people get these really big reputations for being the good guy, the fair guy, the put God first guy. And when these kind of stories come up, down the pike about him, and you sitting around like, damn, it catches you off guard. But I always say, everybody's human. Everybody's human. The abuse can become the abuser overnight, child. We all know that. We all know that. Perfect Combination is a great movie that he starred in. That's a shame. That's one of the best shows on BET. Now, I have heard this before. I'll say that. I will say that I've heard people say before that they don't know what the network is doing, that the network might have, plans for X, Y, and Z, and they don't always talk to their people. We've heard that said for everybody. Andy Cohen, I've heard him say a million times, that's the network. I don't know what Bravo's doing. Even though I represent it, I don't always know their decision making. They don't call me to say X, Y, and Z. So he might be upset thinking that BET is picking on him, but there might be people at BET who just, they might be too busy. And they're like, he'll figure it out like everybody else. He knows that we have the show. He knows that we've paid him already for X, Y, and Z. We told him that here's a general time that it might drop. But he's saying, listen, I deserve that heads up. Somebody should have called me and said, this is the date, and I'm finding out about my show with the rest of the humans. He's pissed. I shouldn't have to find out with everybody else. People shouldn't be sending me messages like, hey, this is when your show is coming out. He's expecting a different level of engagement, and he thinks it's unprofessional, but he might be experiencing what everybody else experienced. And sometimes you just get caught up in thinking that they're picking on you, and it may not be the case. It may not be the case at all. So you kind of got to, keep that in mind as well, because that happens too. You know what I'm saying? He should get it copyrighted. I think he does have it copyrighted, Lady D, to be honest. I think he does, if I'm not mistaken. He wrote a book, and I forgot what the name of the book is called. Is it Ladies Night or something like that? He wrote a book, and whatever the book title isn't All the Queen's Men. All the Queen's Men, transferred. It got a new title, but it is based on that book. But we shall see. If y'all have been paying attention, Tyler Perry has a show on Netflix right now called Beauty in Black. Is that what it's called? Beauty in Black. And there's a lot of elements in that show that's very similar to All the Queen's Men. Very similar. The nightclub, the strippers, the madam. There's a lot of elements. Now, there's some things that's different. And I do like Beauty in Black. I think it's a bomb. I'm waiting for the second season to come out, or the second half of the season to come out. But he did take some elements from that, for sure. It's called being professional. They should have contacted him just like everyone else was contacted. Well, who else was contacted, Erica? Tell me. What I'm saying is not everybody knows the exact date. I agree with you that it would be great if somebody could call and say, hey, just a heads up, or this is where you should find it. But not everybody's given a heads up about that. That's usually, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard a lot of people, production, people who watch the show. If y'all listen to Melody, she would say all the time, I don't know when the show coming back. That's the production call, or that's the network call, not production. That's a network call. I've heard Carlos King say, I don't know when the show's coming back. They might put it on hold for a second and they decide to bring it back. They don't typically, you know, give those calls. I don't know why. Maybe they're so busy that they feel like they don't have to. I don't know why. But there's a lot of people who say that. Christian is just saying, listen, I've asked them to, they haven't, and I find it bullshit. So at this point, because of it, I am taking my show to somewhere else. And not only did he say he was taking it somewhere else, he said he's already in talks. I'm in talks with other streaming companies. So he could be in talks with Netflix, Hulu, who else? HBO is a streamer now. HBO or Max, I think it's called Max. They're streamers. He could be in contact with who knows who else, child. But he said he's already in talks and he's moving his shit. And he said that he's that not everybody's gonna be coming along. Okay. Not everybody's gonna be coming along. So there's a lot of people who's bought homes. What's his name? Michael Boware. I think his that's Bolo. Bolo just won a BET award. Bolo just won a BET award. He did a whole speech on his IG where he said, thank you to Carlos King for seeing in me what I could not see in myself. He was talking about how, you know, he was fine. He was happy, but he was living in that strip club life. And Tyler Perry brought him into TV. And he just, you know, he didn't see that he was an actor. He didn't see that he could be more than what he was, than the role he was playing. So now he's getting recognized. He's getting awards. He's getting a check. He's paying his house. He's taking care of his family. And now we have somebody threatening to uproot all of that. Okay. He said, not everybody can come with me. So who knows? This is the type of stuff that happens all the time. People have no idea how often this stuff happens. I shouldn't even say that. Y'all know this happens even at your own job. You're sitting around talking to somebody that you believe to be the boss, okay? Because who is bigger than Tyler Perry at Tyler Perry Studios? You driving on the lot, it says Tyler Perry. It's Tyler Perry written all over the what do you call it? The sets. There's Tyler Perry everywhere. You don't think there's anyone bigger than Tyler Perry, and you are working on one of the #1 shows on his studio, and then someone comes through and say, that's my shit. That's my shit. I fought for it. Okay. For anybody who might have thought I was the peon, now you know I'm not. Okay. I'm never watching that show again. Don't care. I don't know what show you're talking about at all, but I promise y'all, whatever it is, there's a lot of stuff y'all do, whether it's going to the gas station, to the grocery store. There's a lot of stuff that y'all may not agree with when it comes to the people who own it, the things that they do and say, and you still do it. I actually said the other day, I was like, the amount of times I have gone into Publix, there's a Publix that's near me. I remember just last week, I went into Publix to buy something, and there's a lady that I don't get along with. She's a cashier, and I won't even say don't get along with because I don't know her. But when I'm in her line, she gets really, you know, nasty with me. And I can't even say why, but she'll just, do you have this? And, you know, like kind of screaming on me. I have never, ever went to a manager and said, this lady did X, Y, and Z. Every time I see her now, I make it a point of going someplace else. I got in line not paying attention. And I think I was probably standing in line for already 15 minutes. When I realized that it was her, I literally backed my cart out and went into a completely different line and stood there for another 30 minutes. And I went to the car. I remember when I got in the car, my husband was like, why do you even go in this store? Why do you even go in the store? And I was like, you're right. But I never reported her. I've never made any threat to anybody. I need food. I watch it. I go in, I buy my shit and I let her do whatever. But you deal with people all the time that you don't F with in real life, that you don't like in real life. You still patronize their stuff. You still do all kinds of shit. But I think it's hilarious. It's still hilarious. We put our foot down with some things and not with others. And there might be things that's truly affecting you and how you live. And that's what we really should be protesting and figuring out. There's some stuff that we should be protesting right now and figuring out. Yeah, the last time I was in her line, she had charged me. She charged me for something that wasn't the correct price. And when I told her, she got so pissed. She was, "Why didn't you tell me that before?" And started screaming. And I said, "I'll pay for it and I'll go get my money from customer service." And I literally said, "I will never go into this lady's line again." But it didn't even occur to me to report her because I thought, you know what? She needs her job. I'm sure she needs it. I'm sure she needs her job. And sometimes people have a bad day. I am grown enough to figure out that sometimes people have a bad day, but whatever it is, our energies don't match, and I just need to do what I need to do. I need to do what I need to do. There's plenty of other stores, but I'd rather inconvenience myself. I could have been to another store and all the way back home, child, by the time it was said and done. By the time it was said and done. But just think about all the bullshit you guys ignore all day, the stuff that y'all probably could or should, and y'all ignore it. The people y'all should be calling when it comes to your senators and representatives, and you ignore it. We need to put that same energy and power into that, because y'all know what? It's getting worse for us. That big, beautiful bill has passed, and there's all kinds of horrible shit in it, all kinds of horrible things, including, in case y'all did not know, there's a section in there that says that the courts, when something's done illegally within the government, the courts can put out an order and say, "Hey, this shouldn't happen. You guys are breaking the rules of the Constitution," right? And so if you got, deported to El Salvador, for instance, to be in their prison, a court could say, "This is illegal. Bring that man home. What the hell are y'all doing? He is a United States citizen," right? Right now, there is a section in the big, beautiful bill that says the courts cannot challenge the office of the president, that they can't bring that home. And these are the things that are taking place to take our mind and our attention off of that stuff. And people really we should be fighting that bill. Even though it may have passed out, we still should be fighting that bill. And we fight it by basically calling those people who are sitting in those seats and acting like they don't know what to do. They're sitting on their damn hands. We're calling them and saying, "Hey, you told us about this, and this, but you didn't say shit about this." Okay. If you want to stay in that seat, you better get some shit over there to make sure that that needs to go away. Grace, 100%. Facts. But yeah, think about that. Think about the stuff y'all let slide every day that happens to you, and think about the reason you let it slide. Okay? Yes, ma'am, they passed it. They did. But there's a lot of things that gets passed out, and we still should be fighting it. Right now, the way the budget is written, I would say within the next 10 years, Social Security, food stamps, things like that, stuff that the most vulnerable of the population do rely on, those things go away. That's going to change the landscape for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people who say shit like, "Get a job, get a job." Y'all do know that poor people are some of the hardest working people in the world. The country was built on free, poor, and slave labor. Okay. If I were her, I would cool down with the attitude. They're already replacing real cashiers. Yeah. Well, that's why when I see stuff like that, I used to be one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be one of those people who'd be like, "Bitch, I'm writing a letter. I'm gonna tell your manager." I remember I would do that all the time, and then I was blessed. I'll say that I was blessed to have a mentor who would be like, "You got to pipe down." You got to pipe down, and not everybody is going to do and be and all those things that you want them to do and be. And you have to decide what's important and what isn't. Instead of you trying to change everything to meet you, maybe you need to change so that you can meet your own standards and your own needs. If this isn't what you like, then you go someplace else, right? Not everything has to be met with I'm going to teach you a lesson. And that there's bigger things that you need to set your attention on. And he was right. He was so right. It really did change the way I look at stuff. And he was an excellent mentor. Excellent. If I say anything that happened to me when I was in St. Louis, shout out to Gloria. That is where I met one of the most meaningful mentors of my entire life. And that's also where I got married. So, but sometimes we put too much on people because our expectation, what we want them to do for us, instead of saying, you know what, is this important? No. You don't have to tear down somebody's entire house because of, you don't like something. It's okay to walk away if you don't like it. But yeah, the world is changing. The whole entire landscape is changing, and we have to keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind too. What else is going on, child? What else is going on? So we shall see. I want to see if this Fat Joe lawsuit gets kicked out of court now that Tyrone Blackburn has been arrested. I want to see if Diddy if they come back with a guilty verdict on P. Diddy. And we'll see what else is going on with Tyler Perry and Christian Keys. A lot is changing, and not for the better. Well, sure, it's going to be something, and we're into for some times, child. We are in for some times. That's for sure. We are. But that's it, y'all. That is my hour. And I'll see if anything else comes out. But that's my hour here on the YouTube. And I hope that y'all enjoyed yourselves. I really appreciate everybody for coming over and hanging out with me, for rocking with me is how I say it. Thank y'all. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Hit the like button. Spread the word, child. Share the video. Please and thank you. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. And I will catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye.